All right, welcome back, students. In this video, we are going to cover Lesson 11-8. This is Applying Similarity to Solid Figures. This is GR 4.3, so I can determine how dilations affect area, surface area, and volume. So up at the top, so area of similar polygons. So if two polygons are similar, then their areas are proportional to the square of the scale factor between them. So if ABCD over here is similar to FGHJ, this guy, you'll take then the area of this over, no, I'm sorry, area of new over area of old. So new over old, in this case, the areas would be in proportion, and then so this side FG to AB would be, that's the scale factor squared. And I'm trying to think where, let me see, hold on. I'm going to flip over. I don't usually do that. Where did it talk about? Just a second, sorry. Okay, never mind. Maybe it talks about it below. All right, I've done so many lessons. Okay, on the next page, but I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm getting my stuff confused. Anyway, so example 1, so ABCD, this quadrilateral, and JKLM are similar rectangles. Find the area of JKLM. All right, so in order to find the area, to do this properly, so because we're talking area, it's going to be, we're going to put, first we're going to find out what this side is, because we can get these two in proportion, then these two in proportion, then you multiply the two and you get the you get the area. It's going to go a little different on the other side of the page. So let me see. Give me just a second, because I'm looking at my own stuff here. Okay. Oh well, we're gonna. So we have new over old. So we're going to go 5 over 8. And then, oh, hold on a minute. Actually, let's go back to this. First, we have to figure out what this side is. So remember, for the area for a rectangle is the length times the width. So to get the, if we have the area, we're just going to divide. We would divide both sides, divide the area by the one side we have, which is going to give us the other side we need. So in this case, so 32 equals, we're going to say that's the length, and the other one, we're looking for the width. So the length, is 8. Sorry, making an L, and again, but no, it needs to be, so our length is 8. We're looking for the width, so divide both sides by 8. 32 divided by 8 makes our width 4. So this is 4. Now, to get this side, it's new over old, new over old. So now we go, so we have new over old. Now it's going to be X. We'll call that X. And we know W was 4. I thought it was a W, sorry. It was W over here. But anyway. So, X over 4. Cross multiply, you got 8 times X is 8X. And then 5 times 4 is 20. Divide both sides. So X is 20 divided by 8, which is 2.5. So this was X, but it's 2.5. So to get the area of JKLM, it would be length times width, which is 5 times 2.5. So the area for JKLM is 12.5 centimeters squared. All right, so example 1 check. You guys are going to do this one. So you got, it's a new, yeah, because they're saying, oh, yeah, so new over old. And again, I think I was, it works both ways, but new over old, put your X on top. So it makes it a lot easier than flip-flopping like we've been doing. So new over old, write that over here. That's how you're going to find your scale factor. So this is X. You're going to new over, well, in this case, it puts the X on bottom. So anyway, well, you need length times width. So you'll divide 72 by 6 to get your, actually, do we even need to do that there? Actually, no. On this one, I guess we probably could have done the same thing above, but I liked finding the other side. Actually, I'm looking here and talking here. Sorry. That's what happens when you look at 2 pages. So up here for you guys, I was like, wow, why does it look different? So yeah, you're going to, this is your old, this is your new. So new over old, and you're going to take the sides to find your scale factor, excuse me. And then you can also use this because remember the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. This being your base, this being your height. This is, so you're going to actually multiply this by 2 and then divide it by 6 to get your area. I'm sorry, your base. And then you, using the scale factor, find this 1/2 base times height will give you the other triangle. Let's see, hold on 1 second. Just want to see something. Yeah, so it doesn't work that way. Sorry, okay. We're going to go down here. So trapezoids, LMNP and ABCD are similar. Find the scale factor. So that's the, and let's see, yeah, so new over old. And then it wants to find the value of X. So new over old, we have 72 over 50. And this is bigger than 1. Remember, if our scale factor is more than 1, it gets bigger. If the scale factor is less than 1, it gets smaller. So tell these are bigger. That's another way to kind of check yourself. So now for these, and it still feels off about the others, but anyway, so we're talking about this being the scale factor squared. You know what? Let me pause just a second. Hang on just a second. Okay, I wondered why this was squirrely. Let me go back just a second. So we're not wrong here, but there's an easier way to do this. I knew something didn't feel right because we were like, I don't know. So up here it tells us that the area over the area, that's the scale factor squared. So looking back here, we got new over old. See, I gave y'all too many steps. So new over old is 5 over 8. Now, if we take this and square it, so the top is 25, 5 times 5 or 5 squared is 25, and the bottom, 8 times 8, or 8 squared is 64. All right, so, and on our calculator, 25 over 64. See, this gives us 0.39, so that's our actual scale factor. Now, we're going to multiply that number by the area. Area over here being 32. Watch what happens. 12 and a half. So our answer was 12 and a half, and that is correct. But forget all these other steps. Just take the old, new over old, square it, and then multiply by the old area. Old area. So in this case, so 25 over 64 times 32 gave us 12.5. So it gave us the same answer, but this was a lot quicker. Oh, sorry, a lot quicker. So down here, I'm going to help you guys. So you're going to take new over old, so 8 over 6. You're going to square it, then take that number and multiply it by the old area, so 13.5. And that's going to give you the area for this one. So that's great, but this is a lot easier. So, same thing. So now down here. All right. And so in this one, they give us both areas. They're really wanting that. And we're going to take the square root because we're going for a side, not an area. So that's why we're going to cube root this. Square root, excuse me. Take the square root of it. Sorry. But before we do all that, we can break these down. Let's cut, if 50 was, half of 50 is 25. Half of 72 is 36. These are perfect squares. So the square root of 36 is 6. The square root of 25 is 5. So we found the scale factor by taking the square root of the areas. So this is the scale factor. So when you have the area, it'll be new over old, but you're going to take if you want to find for a side, you're going to have to take the square root because this is new over old squared. So we're going to take this and multiply it by the side we have. So 6 over 5 times 6. So this is hold on. Wait just a second. 1 point. Oh, it'd be, well, hang on. Yeah, we're actually going to, in this case, because it gets smaller, why is this not working? The answer is, yeah, no, that's right. So, just new over old. Oh, that's right. The X is over here. So new over old. New over old. It's 6 over 5 and 6 over X. So it's 6 times X equals 30. Divide both sides by 6. I was like, the answer's 5, but it's not working. Yeah, it's so because they put the X on top, what if we had done this, we do new over old to try to get the X on the bottom. Usually they're asking for this. So anyway, sorry if I confused anybody, but so new over old, and then we're going to cross multiply because we have new over old. If the X had been here, then it would have been, you would have just multiplied 6. This, because this is actually, the answer's 5. They would have been on top. It would have canceled out. Anyway, never mind. Sorry. I'm overthinking a lot tonight, and I apologize. All right, so at the bottom, you guys. Yeah, because the X is on the new. So watch this. So remember, you take your areas. So new over old. I'm going to do part of this, sorry, but because you're going to take the square root of both of those. Square root of 64 is 8. The square root of 400 is 20. So you take 8 over 20, new over old, new over old. Then you cross multiply, and that's going to give you the X. So I know I basically did it, but I want to show you where I had been doing old over new, and it is more difficult when the X is on the bottom like it is here. You have to cross multiply. If it's the other way around, we could have, never mind, I'm going to quit talking. It's been a long day. All right. We actually split this up in class, and yeah, I tell you what, we're gonna stop 8 right here. This, we'll pick it up. Part 2 will be the next page. I apologize. I gotta running long because I'm going back and correcting some stuff. And so anyway, stay tuned for part 2 to come up next. Thanks.